What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you live once again for another live review. This time we are live to talk about Smackdown Live. Tonight's edition of Smackdown Live, the January 8th, 2019 edition of Smackdown Live, which we're about under 3 weeks away now from the Royal Rumble pay-per-view for 2019. Had another match confirmed tonight. Of course, tonight's episode took place in Jacksonville, Florida. Overall, it wasn't a bad show. Wasn't the greatest SmackDown I've seen, but I felt that everything for the most part just did its job. You know, told the stories, gave some people the momentum that they needed. Only one part of the show I really did not enjoy. And that's, of course, the stuff with Rusev and Nakamura. I still just cannot get behind. But I don't know. We had still some interesting things happen on the show. I can't say it was a bad show for sure. Was it the greatest episode of SmackDown? No. But I thought, what we got tonight was, what we needed to get. Like, satisfying, but like better than just average, I felt, in my opinion. And that's where I kind of based, my grade off the show. Because, I can only look back and say one thing I didn't really like in the show was this stuff with Rusev and Nakamura. Because I can't get behind this feud. I'm sorry. I just can't. But, that's all I got to really say about that in the introduction. Let's check the live chat here. Let's get rolling here. And see what we got here. We've got Mark. Saying what's up? What's up? You as well, Mark. SmackDown I thought was okay. Again, it wasn't amazing, but I thought first, but it wasn't the greatest. But it did its job. I felt, and told stories, kept me intrigued for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Looks like Becky gets a rematch. Yep, she earned a rematch back, and I bet you were enjoying Mandy in that towel like I was. Oh, Mark. Back off there, buddy. She's mine. Just kidding. Just kidding. I have no shot for Mandy Rose. But anyways, we'll get to that those in seconds. I gotta tell you what I was doing when that happened. It's a preview there real quick of what really happened. But sure thing. What's up, Jay? Saying that SmackDown I thought was pretty damn solid. Again, I'm not saying it was awful. I just felt, it was a satisfying, good show. Like, it didn't blow the roof off the place, I felt, but it did its job, and it got me intrigued. And that's the most I could really ask for. It wasn't a waste of time, so I was cool with what we got on SmackDown tonight. Let's get started, of course, with the review, guys. We started up with another, like Raw. We didn't start out in the ring. We started up in the concessions area, where Daniel Bryan is just walking around angry, of course. It's the new Daniel Bryan always does. Just talking about AJ Styles, how he would be here if he was just a fan, and he wants to take us on an educational journey. And we went on quite a journey, all right. The only concessions we're making, he says, are to our health and well-being. Are we healthy? Are we happy? How do we feel after eating this garbage? Pointing out, of course, that concession stand food is pretty much not the healthiest for you, but you can't help it sometimes. You want to eat it when you see it. That's why I'm a junkie who I am today. But anyways, we're filling a void and throwing garbage down our throats, and that's why we cheer for AJ Styles. He snatched a hot dog away from some fan and says Styles is like the hot dog. They leave empty and move on to something else. He then throws the hot dog at the fan he took it from. Next, he grabbed a drink and said the plastic is choking the earth before throwing it too. And the fan was just staring down. I'm surprised on these fans. Again, I'm pretty sure these fans that he was, doing this to either had their permission to do so, or they were just, actual, people part of the crew, just, taking the hot dog to the face and the drink to the clothes and whatnot, as you see. But then he gets some merchandise. He goes up and he asks for a Yes Movement t-shirt. But he's like, oh, that's right. The Yes Movement is dead. And he killed it. One of the reasons why is he didn't want to fill the earth with toxic garbage like AJ's t-shirts and gloves. He gets up to the concourse and then starts walking through the stands saying he's out here to change the world. Each of those people are weak, submissive, impotent. AJ can only fill the void for about 30 seconds, but he'll tear that void apart and fill it with something meaningful, something valuable. He'll make the world better, We boo him, but he's changing the world for the better while we change it for thee. And then it gets interrupted because R-Truth comes out of nowhere, and he starts to attack Daniel Bryan, as, of course, set up as we're supposed to have a match next. Of course, based off, what Bryan did last week on the Truth episode of Truth TV we got last week. So Truth comes after Bryan, and I thought, again, that was a pretty good promo. Again, Daniel Bryan, I still am behind. I think, again, he's entertaining, yelling, at the fans and whatnot, and he's just rolling out, stuff that fits him again as a character again. Again, real life, like I said before, Daniel Bryan is, an environmentalist. He's all about, being healthy and whatnot. This is stuff that he has, he has a good idea of what it really means. So, bringing this into this heel character brings something different, not just a typical, heel character coming out just saying, I'm a bad guy, ha, ha, ha. He's like, no, he's like, finding something different each week to talk about us based off, environmentalists, how, you think you need all of this, but it's not what you need. Such as, Mustafa Ali not needing an SUV, like he said. And then, just saying, you're ignorant, you're full of yourself, you got to have this, you got to have that. Just pretty much saying, everybody should be like him pretty much, if you know what I mean. But obviously he's trying to bring people down like AJ Styles, because, AJ Styles has been, getting more attention than him, though, in recent months, as he claims. So, once again, why would he go on this, psychopathic, environmentalist rampage as he's doing right now? And I think it's entertaining. Again, I think heel Daniel Bryan, again, is killing it. But I continue to say at some point this year, he is going to get over. And I do think by the end of the year, around Survivor Series, maybe, we could see Daniel Bryan turn back to a babyface. I think so happen. But until then, let's keep heel Daniel Bryan, because I want to see, feuds like guys like him and, Mustafa Ali. As, I thought we're going with the WWE title team, but it doesn't seem like that's the case now. Of course, when Johnny Gargano comes to the main roster, he's probably going to be a babyface again. I want to see Gargano and Bryan. That'd be an awesome match as well. So we got some good stuff definitely coming our way for sure with heel Daniel Bryan. We had the match with Truth and Bryan. Wasn't really that long of a match. I actually didn't really get to see this match, unfortunately, because my cable briefly went out. We had a random little lightning strike here out of nowhere. And then we just bought a new car tonight, so I went out to kind of test drive the car for about 5 minutes while we waited for the cable to come back on. So I missed this match, so I can't really say much about it. But Bryan won. And afterwards, he's on the stage. Styles just ambushed him. They were mounting headbutts. Of course, security's trying to break them up. But then Styles gets a hold of Bryan and throws him to the LED board. He gets a chair, but then Bryan runs off, and AJ just whips it into the barricade in frustration. Obviously, again, AJ's just, trying to, they feel like they're trying to copy the same storyline they're doing with Seth Rollins on Raw. Obviously, they both kind of in a slump. They both lost their title. So they're trying to do the same thing. They had Triple H trying to bring out the best in Rollins, and then Vince McMahon recently told AJ Styles that he's not being the AJ Styles that he expected from him, and what was caused Styles to snap and beat up the boss himself. So now it's being incorporated in the storyline where AJ's trying to get that earn an opportunity back, which he did, and now he's in chairs again. I feel this match doesn't even have a stipulation for sure. No DQ or no holds barred, I'd say. I don't think we're getting anything bigger than that, in my opinion. But just some type of stipulation, use some weapons in there. But I still think Bryan should retain the title here, in my opinion, of course. That was pretty good stuff there, of course. That was the last we see Bryan with something later on tonight. We had a solid tag match with Rey Mysterio and Mustafa Ali taking on Samoa Joe and Andrade Cien Almas. Some pretty good spots for this match, but obviously, again, the part of this match that stood out to me the most was the sequence towards the end between Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas. Mysterio did a reverse monkey flip into a flip driver on Almas, which Almas, kicked out of it. Ali then goes to hit a 054 after Mysterio hits a 619 on Joe, but it almost gets in the way to break it up. And then Ray goes hit a 619, but almost catches him, and he turns into a gut buster, and then follows that up with his hammerlock DDT to get the win. So I feel like if anyone in that crew needed to win more, had it been Almas. I mean, Joe's kind of got some momentum back. He's kind of been winning the matches against Hardy recently that he's had. Ali, has, got like a big push already coming over to SmackDown, which again, I thought maybe they would start him into the title picture of the Rumble, make it Daniel Bryan, Ali, and Styles, but it doesn't look like it's happening. That looks like that Ali is just gonna be participating in the Rumble match, which is cool with me again, because I don't want to, rocket ship him to the main event scene right away and, over push him. And Mysterio, I love Mysterio, but I don't think he really needs any big wins right now. But obviously, almost getting the pinfall, which I think that was more important because out of the four, he's the one who get some going. Because not that the almost momentum has died off. It's just that they haven't really been doing much with him. So I'm still pledging that what they should do is have Almas, be the one to strip Rusev of the U.S. title. I keep saying, a great match for U.S. title WrestleMania. It can be Almas and Mysterio. Almas retains, of course, but I think that's what the direction goes. So a good win here for Andrade, Almas, and Samoa Joe to get them some momentum going, especially Almas. We then get some hype videos throughout the night for the main event, which is a number one contenders triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is a rematch from SummerSlam with Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Carmella. Carmella gets a promo first backstage talking about how nobody thinks she's going to win. And why? Because she looks good and likes to have fun. Or is it because Charlotte has learned to use a kendo stick and Becky grew a personality? She became champion by getting an opportunity, and that's all she ever needed. And tonight she's got one more opportunity to get at it because Mella is money. Then we see Usos walking around backstage as they're going to be getting a match. And again, we'll get to the match shortly, but I'm not a fan of these matches where you have an opportunity. It's one-on-one, the champions and the challengers, the Usos and the Bar. If the Usos win, they get a shot for the SmackDown tag titles. And I'm just like, why even have them do that? Because every time that happens, when they say, okay, in order to gain this opportunity, you have to, beat the champions. Well, if they beat the champions, then why are we even having the match again? I know a few times you're I'm like, okay, I get it, but still like a tag match, okay, but in a in just a singles match like that, or a singles tag match like that, it's just like, come on. And like, what's the point of having them have a championship match? They beat the champions. They already proved they could beat them. It's just typical 50-50 booking that just drives me insane, in my opinion. But we got that match later on. Then we have Shane McMahon and the Miz backstage. Miz barging and complaining about the Usos getting a shot at the tag titles before they do. Shane says they are far away from the tag title picture. But the Miz tries to sell him on taking the shortcut, which again is still maybe that the Miz is still somewhat of a heel in this, not much of a baby face. But Shane says he's excited about teaming, but he wants to put the work in, challenge themselves in their competition. Miz agrees after a bet before asking if he's thought about outfits, saying he enjoyed the white leather, which points at which Shane begs off and then goes to take a call. So again, it's just, I don't know, again, like this Shane and Miz stuff, just giving them something to do. It's not awful, but it's not setting the world on fire for me again. So I don't know. We're probably getting a match at WrestleMania at some point, but we know where to go with this next, though, as we'll get to that later on. Then we have Rusev in the ring. He says last week Lana got hurt because of Nakamura's selfish actions. She's resting at home, but he stands before us not as champion, not as the Bulgarian brute with 1,000 Hemsworth brothers, but he stands before us as a husband. And we get the Lana is the best Lana number one chant before he says that Nakamura can mess with him all he wants, but once you mess with his wife, you cross the line and you can't come back from that. So he calls Nakamura out so that way he can break every bone in his fragile body and crush him. But Shinsuke appears on the Titantron. He's sitting in a production truck saying that Rusev is just trying to get sympathy. He's here in a truck to prove to everyone that it's not his fault. And he asks for the tech crew to roll the tape from footage from last week, showing that the Machka kick knocked Shinsuke over while Lana was on his back. Nakamura tells Rusev that he crushed Lana. And then, now, unlike Braun Strowman last night, who just stood there in the ring and waited for Brock Lesnar to come to him, Rusev said, you know what? if you won't come to him, I will come to you. So he runs into the back, but then Nakamura rams a row case at him, sandwiching him in between some gears. The referees try to break it up, but then Nakamura came out of nowhere and hit a King Shasa on Rusev and laid him down. So again, I guess this feud with Nakamura and Rusev against him again, it's just doing absolutely nothing for me. It's continuing just to, you know, again, I love Nakamura in NXT, but his main roster runs has been garbage. I'm sorry, like, you know, last time I probably cared was when he was involved in the feud with AJ Styles. Then he feuded with Jeff Hardy, which was okay. But then after, you know, the feud with, I'll say even him and Hardy was okay. But then after that, it's just like they did absolutely nothing with him as US champion. His dialogue is just atrocious that he's being given to say. It's just, you know, Chris Jericho, Neville, not known as Pac, and several others are going to AEW. You know, why not have Nakamura go there or go back to New Japan? So I'm really starting to feel WWE is not the place for him. I'm really not feeling it anymore. I can't find anything to get behind Nakamura. Like, he comes on my screen, I'm just like, oh boy, because it's never good. It's nothing I can ever get behind anymore, guys. I hate to say it because, you know, I love the guy in NXT, but his main roster run, I thought was just like, all right, start off with now. Lately, it's just, I just can't care. I just can't find any part of me just to care anymore. And again, I just feel we're going to get past this Rusev and Nakamura storyline. And, you know, I love Rusev again, but I feel, you know, the money match WrestleMania for the U.S. title is definitely almost a Mysterio. It's got to happen. You can put some prestige into the U.S. title. Give, you know, them a WrestleMania moment as we got the hiccups now. You know, it'll be almost his first WrestleMania. I think him and Mysterio have great matches and great chemistry together. They had a great match recently on SmackDown that, you know, was a lot of fun to watch. I feel they can do even better at WrestleMania. So, especially for the U.S. title, Nakamura. Sorry, but I'm just really not feeling it for him anymore. Not really, you know, that into it. We didn't have Becky Lynch kind of promo saying how she has to win a match apparently now to get her title shot. She never lost. But it's okay because tonight she'll do whatever she wants. At the Rumble, Asuka will have to do more than just climb a ladder, and she knows she's on borrowed time until the man comes around. We get a recap of what happened last night with Hulk Hogan, Hogan's eulogy of Mean Gene Okerlund, which includes the excellent memorial video package once again. And of course, you know, they did point out the part again where Hogan suggested that Gene was hooking up with Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young in heaven, which again, that part was weird. Again, that sure was still very fun to watch. Live chat here really quick. See what we got here. Let's see here. Where were we at? We got Lauren joining us. Marcus, I'm just sorry the Usos didn't get their title shot. I agree again, but again, I'm still not a fan of those matches where you have to beat the champions to get that title shot. Again, that's not. I'm not really a fan of that. I'm sorry, I'm not. Lauren thought that Raw was a tad better than SmackDown, which is fine. The Usos are always getting opportunities. For the most part, they are. I thought another brawl was going on like last night at first when the show started. I agree, but it was different. Jay says it's probably a B or B plus for him. I'm surprised though Orton, New Day, or Jeff Hardy tonight. True, but again, it can't always be on every single show. The Rumble card has so many changes, but it's definitely interesting for me. I'd say Mark's giving SmackDown a C. Surprised Becky won the match. Was hoping she'd win the Royal Rumble. So watch Charlotte win. It will have we will not have Becky and Ronda, unfortunately, which I'm not going to rule out yet, and I'll explain why towards the end. Is Orton even in the Rumble? I feel like he should be. I don't know if he's officially entered it yet, but I feel he's going to be. And there's no reason why I feel he should be kept out. They're actually putting some good matches together for the Royal Rumble, which I agree. The card's looking really strong so far, I got to say. Orton has a later schedule. He's there every other week, which could be. He's happy almost in Joe 1. Rumble is going to be stacked. Heel Bryan is great. Truth actually looked good tonight, she thought, which again, I think so too. Jericho is with AEW now, as is Neville, which good for them for sure. Sorry my hiccups. Will Omega be an AEW or surprise entrant in the Rumble? Again, I'm not sure. I heard he was not at the rally today for AEW, which surprised me a little bit. So maybe he could have done it just to keep the suspense of where he's going. But I still think he's going to stick to his word and not go to WWE. I mean, I feel like he's someone that he's that great that WWE would definitely just ruin him for sure. And I think he's someone that just can't take that chance. He's not meant for WWE at this point, I gotta say. So can he go to AEW, I'd say, or stay with New Japan? Every star is becoming more aggressive. I'm not sure why. Lauren's not feeling well. She's gonna go to some rest. Hope you feel better. Lauren, we'll see you later. I'd rather see Gallows and Anderson or Sandy face the Bar at the Rumble, which could be a fresh matchup for either one of them, I gotta say. But of course, we know who we're getting now, apparently. What's up, Ball of Eye? It's been a while. Hope you're do well, my friend. Me, I got these freaking hiccups right now, so look out. So we'll get back to the review. We did have the match again. The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus taking on the Usos. Again, the Usos win. They get a tag title opportunity against the Bar at some point, most likely the Royal Rumble. Not a bad match, gotta say. There's a lot of good back and forth action. I thought, but of course, the most interesting part came towards the end. The part where both Cesaro and Jey Uso was down, and but obviously, both of them were just worn out. And Jimmy's on the apron, just begging for Jey to tag him in. As he's all energized up, they have Cesaro everywhere he needs to be. And I was just taking a swig of my drink. All of a sudden, I hear that music. And I was just like, that's right. Oh, boy. Mandy Rose came out with a towel wrapped around her, just like she showed off in the photo last week to distract Naomi. And she asked Jimmy for help, asking if she left her tiny gold shorts and top in the hotel room. He's like, huh? But based off the distraction, Sheamus blasted him off the apron with a broke kick, and then Cesaro hit the neutralizer onto Jey Uso for the win. Of course, afterwards, backstage, we see Mandy Rose walking with Sonya and shakes off the towel, revealing that her gear was on the whole time, and that she was just trying to get into the mind of Jimmy. But Naomi attacks her, and they start brawling until Jimmy comes in and makes a save. So again, I'm really digging what's going on with this Mandy Rose storyline for sure, as it's really, really turning me on, if you know what I mean. But I'm not gonna go too deep details there. But after the match, though, The Miz came out and congratulated the Bar on behalf of him and Shane. They dominated all the SmackDown teams except for the best tag team in the world. They wants to offer them a chance to defend their titles against them. Cesaro said that they destroyed every team up Raw and SmackDown. Why would they want to face, an untested, uncoordinated, dysfunctional duo with daddy issues? Since, Shane McMahon, his dad, and always gone along. And of course, Miz is now basing off this is the only thing that my dad cares about, or something like that. He asked Sheamus what he thinks, and then Sheamus has a bro kicks, and the Bar promoter says challenge accepted. So I guess we're getting the match, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Charlotte then has a face-to-face a backstage promo talking about how Carmella was last year's hottest thing and Becky is this year's, but she's been the hottest thing for 4 years. She's main evented multiple pay-per-views, and she's not here to prove herself to anyone, but just to reclaim her title. And you see Daniel Bryan heading out of the building backstage. He's being interviewed, saying that he pointed out that a fat, ignorant man spilled mustard on him before shifting to Styles' unprovoked attack. Did he attack him because Bryan is changing the world for the better, or just because he's got his title and he doesn't? Bryan doesn't care why AJ attacked him. And if you think we did tonight is vicious, it's not as vicious as the new Daniel Bryan. people haven't seen what he's capable of, but Styles will see at the Rumble. He'll never ever take the WWE title away because Bryan is a fighter for a bigger cause than he can understand, and he'll be champion forever. We didn't see Miz backstage jawing when Shane rolls up, and then Miz congratulates him on his plan to challenge their opponents working, but Shane tries to explain what he meant, and Miz says they're not testing themselves by going right after the bar. And where would they be if they just politely waited their turn and let the opportunity pass them by? McMahon asks if he thinks they can win. Miz says they know they can, and they fist bump. But again, it's just Miz kind of still being arrogant and making this all about him, which is me still believing he's still somewhat of a heel. But again, who knows? Then finally got our main event. It was Becky and Charlotte and Carmella rematch from SummerSlam for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Not a bad match. Obviously, it was, mostly as most matches have been with Becky and Charlotte anymore. The two of them just jawing at each other and just trying to kill each other, while the third member tries to get involved in some ways as well, which was Carmella, who had a decent match. Again, Carmella, we all know, is not the greatest wrestler in the world. But I feel like ever since they took the title off of her, they've been allowing her to do more than just one freaking super kick. Again, I do like that little dive she does through the ropes. There's some good spots there. Of course, there's also a spot where Charlotte did a moonsault off of the top rope that missed Becky and Charlotte completely. I was surprised that happened. But there's a couple, close spots towards the end. Becky broke up a figure 8 from the top rope with a leg drop. But then she goes to disarm Charlotte, but then Carmella broke up the super kick, drawing Flair up, throwing her to the floor, and then she spears Becky, but then Mel super kicks her again, and Becky recovers and hooks in the disarmer to get Carmella to tap. Afterwards, Asuka comes out and ignores Becky when she goes through her usual intro before turning to size her opponent up and hold her title to her face. So we're getting Becky and Asuka at the Rumble, which is a fresh match, definitely a wrestle-worthy match. And I know some of you are a little bit worried that this doesn't mean that Becky is not winning the Rumble. I mean, if Becky really is like that hero, gets the big reactions, making her do this, like if she doesn't win the title from Asuka, Becky's still getting that Rumble match. Like Becky is going to do whatever she has to do to get into that match. I feel like Becky's still going to be in the Rumble match, and obviously I know, it wasn't a good idea to put Roman in the match despite still having a title match earlier on. But, put it this way. Wouldn't Becky want to try to seize the other opportunity by trying to get herself into the match again? And I think it's what's going to lead to, again, to, a double win by Becky and Charlotte at the Rumble, and they're both going to be facing Ronda. It's just what I think is going to happen, guys. But we'll have to wait and see. But, so, yeah, we're getting that match again. The Rumble card showed up to be pretty solid. I think it's going to be a pretty good show for me, definitely, for sure. Let's see here. So we got our polls tonight for oh shoot, I completely messed up on the other poll. My bad. But we'll have just one poll right now. So what grade did you enjoy SmackDown? 7 votes for it. 71% said A, 14% said C, 15% said D or lower. And even though I didn't have the poll up there properly, but I still think that SmackDown edged out just a little bit because SmackDown still had some good stuff. Raw had some good stuff, but also had some ugly stuff also to begin with. So that's why I'm going to give SmackDown a B tonight. Solid B, I gotta say. Check the live chat, and then we're out of here. Sasha and Ronda sounds great, honestly. I can't wait. What's up, Elite Squad? Yep, AEW. SmackDown I thought was okay, which is completely fine. Do you think they're going to give the title back to Becky? I don't think so. Again, I really think Becky's not going to win the Rumble, but she will find some way to get into the Rumble match to seize an opportunity and, of course, get to Ronda for sure. Even if it means because I think just having just Charlotte winning is just going to be flat. Have it more interesting with Becky and Charlotte winning it. That's what I gotta say. Shane and the Miz versus the Bar will just be mad, in my opinion. Bryan is cut a good promo. He defeated Truth in a few minutes. Solid tag match between Ray Ali and Joe and Almas. Amazing Canadian Destroyer. Usos and Bars okay until the finish, which I still thought was interesting. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Rusev and the Nakamura segment though, and he thought the main event was okay, which could be fine. And Mark's checking out, but yeah. So I give it a B again. Not a bad show. Didn't light the world on fire, but I felt it did its job and have me intrigued for Rumble for sure, as we will be getting Asuka and Becky for the SmackDown Women's Championship. But again, I don't think that means Becky is not going to be in the Rumble match. I still think she will be in that Rumble match. Trust me, she will find a way to get in, guys. But yeah, guys, that is it, guys. What do you think of SmackDown Live tonight? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure, as always, to click my like and subscribe or comment on my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirbody3. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my trifecta of reviews for sure. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.